Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Neza Porter, the father of Nikayla, Nyshela, Nezer, and Navon Porter. I am also the son of Joan X. Porter and Nezer Porter. I owned a house in Roxbury at 8 Linwood Square for approximately 27 years. I worked hard. I bought the house in the early 90s. I was able to pay that off through my hard work, working extra shifts and whatnot. So I owned the house outright. So last August, the house mysteriously caught on fire. How it caught on fire, don't know. The arson squad, the Boston Arson Squad, did an investigation. They found it inconclusive. That was not surprising because I knew that they were going to do that from the beginning. And Mr. Solberg had a private conversation with the arson inspector, which he didn't want me to be around. I wonder why. But it was rumor, and also I heard him say it myself, that he wanted to put the house under receivership before it was placed under receivership. But before that happened, my daughters and my son, both of my sons, they had cleaned out the house. They did a lot of work. They fixed up some of the stuff. They had contractors come out. They had masonry people come out. They got quotes. They even got loan amount figures. They even have proof of how much money they have to fix up the house. Now, there was originally they were complying. They were doing everything what they were supposed to do. Kept in contact with Bill Solberg, let him know what's going on through ISD. Now, for some reason, Mr. Solberg told my daughter that she didn't have to be at the meeting. When she specifically asked him, did she have to be at that meeting? And he said no. That's when they appointed aggressive receivership. Now, if somebody is doing the work and complying with the city, I don't see why you will appoint a receivership. So right then and there, that shows me some corruption going on. Now, the judge is no better than them because she did not want anything to be done. It didn't matter what we did. We had lawyers, we had contractors, we have loans, proposals, you name it, they did it. This judge was very biased. If you ask me, she already had a hidden agenda from the beginning. Judge, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but Irene Bagdelio, whatever how you pronounce that name, she's a very unfair judge. No, I'm saying it because I see it. She did not let us speak. She didn't want to see the evidence, nor did she even want to read the evidence. The whole point of the receiver being appointed was allegedly to put a roof on the house before the weather set in. So this happened in August, remind you. He was appointed somewhere in November. Now, the point of him being appointed was to put a roof on the house. Oh, this is what we're going to say allegedly, because this was their idea of saying, oh, we're going to put a roof on the house before the weather sets in. All right, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months passed by, no roof on the house. He took credit for all the work that my kids did, and he lied. I'm going to say it straight up. He lied. Now, you want to say what it want to say it is, I'm telling the truth. He lied. I sat there and listened to him lie and say he did work. My kids have proof, pictures, evidence, contractors, reports, everything saying they did the work. ISD, they're corrupt. I don't. Ed Coburn, he is just as wicked as they come. He couldn't even look us straight in the eye. That guy, I'm telling you right now, he couldn't even look me straight in the eye, nor anybody else. And he basically just made up false things and say, well, they're not doing the work, they're not complying, they don't have the money, they don't have the resources, a whole bunch of stuff. And the receiver took credit for doing pretty much everything, but he did nothing. Finally, at the end, like end of the winter is over, just before spring starts, he was told, but he never did. And this is what I don't understand. The judge told him to put insurance on the building. If the judge told you to do something and you did not do it, to me that's not complying. She never questioned it the next day. She never said, well, where's the insurance? Where's this? Where's that? She just went along with his little kangaroo act, and she's part of it. We know that. We know how that works. They already have their hidden agenda. Then now he says, oh, the work's all done. I got a roof, and now I want to sell the house. Oh, wait a minute. I got 4 kids. They don't want them to have it. They said that they will actually take it over, and I will put it in their names, and they can do whatever they want. Irene just didn't want to have it. Like, if I ever knew about corruption, that is corruption. But speaking of corruption, Massachusetts is probably one of the most corrupt, and I say the most corrupt, cities in the United States. And the reason why I say that, because we know what the other states are going through with their corruptions, their schemes and everything. Massachusetts has a corrupt legal system. The judges, the lawyers, the politicians, they're corrupt. And they're corrupt in such a way where they try to manipulate the law to favor them. For example, I don't want to talk about a lot of them, but there's a whole bunch of them out there. With Marty Walsh and, you know, the movie industry, and they were forced, like, oh, you got to hire union reps, you got to hire union people, you got to hire this, that. If you don't do this, we won't give you the permits, we won't give you the license. That's how they work. Marty Walsh is a person that's not a responsible person. He doesn't answer phone calls. He only comes out, now I'm going to tell you the truth, he only comes out when he's on the spotlight. When he's not on the spotlight, he hides. We had Stop and Shop go on strike. Marty Walsh did not come out. The only time he came out is when he heard that Joe Biden was coming into town. It's the only time he came out. Same thing with the correction officer who got assaulted by South Bay over there on 20 Braston Street. Marty Walsh knew about this opioid epidemic. They called it the methadone mile for quite a while, and he had all these ideas, what he's going to do, what he wants to do. Nothing happened. All of a sudden somebody gets assaulted, the union steps in, now Marty Walsh shows his face. So if you want to see corruption, that's a corrupt politician right there. So he has no accountability. So getting back to ISD, they all work under that corrupt umbrella. So if you have a corrupt leader, governor, mayor, whatever you want to call him, what you think the people underneath are going to do? That's the reason why there's no accountability in Massachusetts. The T is running rampant. They do what they want to do. There's no accountability. Nothing gets done. They want to raise the fears. Oh, it's too much politics. And it goes on and on and on and on. You just can't make this stuff up. This stuff is real. You can check the facts and understand that it gets worse. It gets worse. And I can't really elaborate on all of it. Hopefully I'll make another YouTube video where it exposes more of it in detail, because there are details. You can't make this stuff up. You have to have facts to show it. And trust me, people talk. People know. People understand. And I'm pretty sure it's not happening just here, but Massachusetts is so corrupt that they cover it up. And they pretend that it does not exist. And they think people don't know about it. But now's the time to expose it all. Whether they like it or not, it should be exposed. The truth has to be told. People have to hear it. People have to know what we're suffering through. We are in the process of losing a community which we grew up in by big investors. They're moving out the lower class people. People are becoming homeless, getting pushed out of the city which they grew up in all their lives. More like, I want to call it a form of genocide. If you want to look at it that way. It is what it is. You can't sugarcoat this stuff. And some people try to say, oh, it's not that bad. You don't see it from our perspective. And there's more homeless people than what the city reports because they don't want the true numbers. There's more drug addicts than what the city reports because they don't want the true numbers. More people who work in the city don't live in the city. And I'm going to say that again. Most people who work for the city do not live in the city. And they were supposed to have these guidelines where you have to live within the city limits to work for the city. I don't think that's true. Matter of fact, I know it's not true. At one point, they may have lived in the city who knows how long ago, but they don't live in the city now. Quite a few people that work for the city, get city paychecks, do not live in the city. Politics is at its worst, but it gets worse than this. But I'm Neza Porter, and I'm going to expose more and more as it goes on. This is just what they call the tip of the iceberg. You're going to see more police corruption, which is already there. It's going to get exposed. You're going to see more corruption within all fields of government. That's why the school system right now is deteriorating so bad. It's almost senseless to send your kids to school at this point. The school department does not produce the education level that it used to produce back in the 50s and 60s, guaranteed. One reason they take out all the special classes like, home economics, shop, woodworking. You don't have those classes, so kids cannot learn anymore. They do not isolate the kids who are causing the trouble and put them in a class where they can get special attention so they can focus. There's a lot of stuff going on, and they already say budget this, budget that. The budget has been the better now than ever before, and they still cannot get it right. They will spend money on MIT to do research on something that MIT cannot come up with. And then they won't even ask the people in the community what they think. But my main focus right now is exposing ISD, the city of Boston, the corrupt judge in the legal system and what they do to lower class minorities in this community. And it's happened all over the city of Boston. And guys, we got to get a buddy system going on where we got to watch out for our neighbors, because you could be next. But I'm going to get off this air right now, but I shall return sometime soon and give more information. There's plenty more to come, and I will show it all. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.